Welcome back to another warm-up show with the co-host directly for the Sunshine State in Florida. Coach Frenchie is in the house, and we have to go all the way to the north and Ontario to find our co-host, Mr. ENORTAP, in the house.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. Here we are, another big night.
Happy Thursday, happy Thankful Day. April 14, 2022, yeah. 12 game on the program after only 3 games last night. So that was an easy game last night, easy prediction. Many people get the way to get a 3-0. We want to congratulate a lot of people did it, and they did well, honestly.
I heard somebody went to jail.
Unfortunately,
somebody.
He is back again. I don't know what's happening, but he's back in where he was almost born a couple of years ago. But we have to congratulate, first of all, the people of 3-0 today. I'm talking about, of course, we have me and you, Mr. ENORTAP. We did it. We did 3-0 yesterday. I know, it was easy at the end of the day. But we have Mr. Joseph LANHAM with Andy Kuivula. We have Danny T, the Butterbean, Pierre Martin, Yamo, Kelly, Jose Duarte. We have John Grega. And we have all 3-0 yesterday. Then Round Kings 20. And with a Real Deal Prim or Real Prim Deal, something like that. And Blackhawks 97 did with Luciano yesterday, 2-1. And finally, his return is back. Mr. Nooner back in the Alcatraz Hockey Nation Live Show. And nobody, Mr. ENORTAP, have a right score yesterday. The fantasy have to go with Pierre Martin with the Mcginn 8 points. That's a lot of points, honestly, for one night. And I was the only one did the 22 on the nil. And this happening yesterday. So it's happened. Sometimes we get it. I think that's my second time I did it. We did those kind of score, everything like that. So we're going to see what happened. But at the end of the day, Mr. ENORTAP, we're going to go to the leaderboard to see what's going on. I should put this over there at the beginning. I forgot to put the leaderboard over there. And we have, of course, again, Luciano take the lead with Jean Grega. But Luciano cut the lead right now at 39-39. We have Yamo with Pierre Martin joined at 38, only one behind. And then after that, we have nobody at 36 and 35 at 37. We have to go to 35, everything like that. So great opportunity as Jose is 35, honestly. So that's where we are, the leaderboard of the show at that moment. So congratulations for everybody. And we'll see who is going to get that better night tonight, 12-0. It's not going to be easy with all the kind of game we have on the show, on the program tonight. But we have a few people already in the chat, Mr. ENORTAP. Welcome directly from Finland. He's back with us. He says, salut les amis. On lui dit bonjour. Mr. Yamo Verteden.
Hello, Yamo. Bonjour.
He's back as the moderator of the Hockey Nation Live Show, the morning, afternoon, the evening, whatever we doing, he's going always with us. I'm talking about the moderator, Danny Butterbean T.
Hey, Danny. How's it going?
From Utah. Welcome back, Mr. Round with Kings 20. Not a good night last night, but as another prediction but about the team, the Kings. But welcome back, Mr. Round with King.
Hey, Ron. How's it going?
From north, upstate north, a little bit south of Toronto. But I'm talking about Jose Duarte is with us tonight.
Hey, Jose.
Now, I think he become a boxer with Butterbean because now he changed his name. And you can see that. I feel it. He want to go against Butterbean because I'm talking about Luciano GRAZIANO.
He's the lucky guy, yeah. Welcome, Luciano.
I can feel it. He's getting there. He got the nickname now. He just need a trainer. We're going to find him a trainer very soon. But Luciano is coming very soon again. Butterbean. But we have the scout. The scout, Mr. ENORTAP, is back in the house. I'm talking about Mr. ALEXANDRE.
Hey, Alex. Welcome.
From Texas, everything is big over there. Whatever you're looking over there, everything is big. The wall over there, everything. I'm talking about Mr. Joseph LANHAM.
Welcome, Joseph.
By the way, Joseph had a great week this week with the Hockey Nation Show. I'm talking about, first of all, the Devils win 6-2 in the last game. But also the fact, like, he's doing well on prediction this week. He come back a little bit better, stronger. But also he won the contest during the show in the morning. So he have overall a very good weeks with he's doing well. He's doing well with the Hockey Nation Live show. So see about that. We have the Legault family dans la maison de Hockey Nation Live show.
Bienvenue.
Le Legault family, peut-être dans la région de Montréal ou peut-être dans la région de Québec, ou peut-être en Ontario, on ne sait pas. On va peut-être le savoir. Welcome, Mr. Oh, la famille Legault family. The red carpet, but this is a round carpet because you have to slide all the way from the top to the bottom. He's going to do a flip, flap, flop. He's going to go all the top and to go to the bottom. I'm talking about the Alcatraz gel for Mr. Nooner.
Hey, Nooner, you're lucky. I thought you went 0-3.
And he said, but me going to jail again. And Miss Kelly back at the house.
Awesome.
Hey, Kelly.
She's ready for the AM34 tonight against the Washington. We're going to talk about this, but in fact, Mr. ENORTAP, we're going to do the live stream play-by-play at 7 o'clock p.m. tonight. Between the Capitals and the Leaves. We're going to see that, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Very important game for the Leafs tonight if they want to stay in the race to finish second in the Atlantic Division. But talking about the Leafs, we're not talking about Mr. Alexandre Meilleur. Bonjour, mon Alexandre.
Hello, Alexandre.
No, you need the key. Don't worry, Runar. Look in the locker in the living room, just around. Turn it right, and your living room is right there on the wall. That's what your wife put the key, your keys for the gel. She knows you go back, you go there a lot of times. She put your key, you set the key over there. If worst case, if you lose them, ask her, Danny. You have another set of the key to Alcatraz Hockey Nation Live show. So don't worry about that. He's going to find a way to bring you back. Ça va très bien, mon Alexis. J'espère que tout va bien aussi avec toi, mon homme. Alcatraz Daily Special is patate. But no, can add poutine. Yeah, we gave them a lot of poutine over there. And that's what happening about that. Andy Kuivula is back in the house.
Andy, how are you?
Fans of the Edmonton Oilers, big game for him tonight. They play again the Dallas Star, Nashville Predator. I apologize. Nashville Predator, big game for them. Really important game, so we'll see how he's going to play for sure. Camden Rasico back in the house. No, Camden, we miss you. Where are you been, buddy? We did not see where did you go? About that, and we have a couple of cheer right there between this Kelly. Oh, back in the house, Mr. Richard Mullen.
Hey, Richard, how's it going?
You are awesome.
I'm talking about the Blue Bowler from Kentucky Derby. Back on the bowling this May 2nd, Mr. Alan Vaillancourt.
Welcome.
Well, we spy him, Mr. ENORTAP. Right now, we practice every day for 3 hours per day from 9 to 12 before the lunch. And he's on the final training camp right now. He wants to have a great season, summer season. So we're interesting to follow his average, everything like that. And his captain, his wife, Erin, she's the captain of the team. So she's going to give us some update a couple of times per week. So we have something we have to follow up during the summer. Mr. ENORTAP, the Hockey Nation show insider like RJ is going to be all over that to follow what's going on and Kentucky for the bowling. We'll see about that one over there. The Leaf keep game gonna be ugly, Luciano said.
I don't think so.
Then he said that's the bedroom at the right side. I'm talking about the another right, Danny. You're on the wrong side. You look wrong way. Talking the right one over there. Roger said his wife ever laugh about this. I don't know if she's happy, Nona, because I know because the fact you go to jail, I think she's happy. She don't have to see you every night. She's finally have the bed for myself tonight. Finally, Roger is at the jail tonight for 124. Yeah, she's happy because you come back all the time, but still, right? Yeah. So we love to hear what she think about that for sure. Jose Duarte, coach, what happening between Kane and Ryan Hartman?
I'm not sure. Well, what did happen? Did I miss something today?
2 days ago.
2 days
Evander
ago?
Kane fight would try to. First of all, I start with a question.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah, you know what? I thought initially Kane went in to defend one of his own players. Yeah, and I thought, okay, you're standing up for your own teammate, and then he was jumped by about 2 or 3 different Minnesota players. So, you know,
what happened also, he wanted to reach someone because the linesman was pushing him hard to not go there, and he got upset about that. He said some bad words to Hartman.
Well, he flipped
the finger after that, and he got penalized. And now today, the fans start a GoFundMe or Venmo, and the fans pay the fee for the NHL for Hartman because he flipped the finger. So they have I don't know, $10,000 now. So Hartman took that money and he's going to give back that money to the Minnesota Children's Hospital.
Oh, I'm glad he did something positive with it.
So that's great. Sometimes I always said a negativity or something happened. Always have a good side of everything if you think right way. So not agree what he did, but at the end of the day, we have a good place to find a way about that. Do you think that Mcginn would break the record? Camden, no, because the record is 92. Now, he did already the record for the Toronto Maple Leaf. Can he reach 60? Possible. I think he will do it, Camden. But the record is only
70.
92, honestly. But
yeah, he's not going to break that.
Adam Villaco, we have an average of 131 last season. We're looking for 138, Adam, right now. So it would be interesting to follow up about that. Willett 80 in the house.
Willett, bonjour.
Kalish have the same injury like Matthews, problem with the wrist. Hopefully it would be the right one. Feel better, speed, recovery, and go from there.
Hopefully everything went well, Kelly.
Nona is like the guy on the movie Rock, Sean Connery with long hair. First he got haircut after the jail. Yeah, that's possible about this. Ladies and gentlemen, back in the house, Pierre, Pete, Martin. Don't forget to click on the lights.
Hey, Pierre, how's it going? Wait.
Find him $4,200 XY game. Hartman $200. She was a good reason about that. Jose, yeah, ex-wife, she's a little bit crazy about all the stuff like that. For sure. And we have Mr. the Insider, the Motor Canadian, Mr. Andrew Lepage is with us.
Andrew, how are you? Good job yesterday.
Alan Vanco said Nathan McKinnon was all over the ice yesterday. He said, look, maybe one of the best game of McKinnon, honestly. The part was follow him, everyone. So
he was in a different gear last night.
Oof.
Look out. Playoffs around the corner.
What about Likonen?
I know.
Pretty good for Likonen yesterday. about that
Some
one.
great passes he made.
Because we have 12 games in NOTAP, we don't have a lot of time, so let's start it right away. I'm talking about, of course, it's time to what? It's time to drop that puck, ladies and gentlemen. Drop that puck. If I find that logo, it will help. Here we go. But pay attention for Mr. ENORTAP the last 24 hours around the NHL. We want to be sure at the beginning of the show, we want to drop that puck and to get a great analysis about Mr. ENORTAP. Here we go, Mr. ENORTAP. What pay your attention in the last 24 hours?
Well, it was a late night last night with the 3 games only. I guess we were just talking about Colorado, so we'll start there. No mistaking this from the beginning. They took a quick 4-0 lead on LA, and they never looked back. And it was amazing. McCarr and McKinnon, they really put on a clinic last night. And I'm not talking about just from a points perspective, but their skating. They were at every spot. They were hitting. They were creating plays. It was just a beautiful sight of hockey that we saw from many of the Colorado players. The only thing that surprised me a little bit in that game was the fact that they scored 9 goals, and yet they still had, I think, three or four players that had a -2 at the end of the night. It's hard to do that, but they did that. And also Dano, who I think he had, was it 1 or 2 goals yesterday? I think he scored 2 to reach the next level at 26, I think he's at. So that was good. Montreal game, bit disappointing. I think Columbus really came out strong. It seems like Columbus really plays Montreal tough all the time. Montreal, for whatever reason, has trouble against them. But it wasn't because of that, more so than the fact that it looked like Montreal just wasn't skating to the same level that they have been in some of the other games. And, Montembeault was average. Let's put it at that, And then, of course, the Ranger game, they came out very, very strong. They built up a 3-0 lead by early second period. Georgiev, beautiful game again, his second shutout. He's been filling in whenever Shesterkin isn't in there, and that makes a potent 1-2 punch going into the playoffs with those 2 goalies for sure.
Yeah. Montreal, I don't know. It was not very, I just love Martin Saint-Louis. It's the best. It's always Martin Saint-Louis after the game. At least last night it was. He talked the fact the team was flat, honestly. No energy, no urgency. But he talked about the fact the team is mentally exhausted. And one of the reasons he said that's because you have a chance to go the coach. He said as a player it's not easy to readapt with new people around. First of all, it takes a couple of weeks. Secondly, I ask them a lot. I'm really demanding to learn about the concept, learning about how to play, another way where they never see that. And it takes time for that. And you have to apply this every single day. And really, I can see right now they are really exhausted about that. That's not making an excuse for the performance tonight. I can see I need to make it a little bit slow with them. Like tomorrow, we're going to have a day off, and I'm going to go change a little bit for the rest of the week, the season. Couple of modifications to let them have more time to recovery and finish strong the season, everything like that. So pretty amazing why he find a way to do that. He said the third pair was a little bit better. We played a bit more. We create an offensive. But when he said when you chase the score, it's so hard. And it was already too late for us at that moment. So it happens on a season, he said. And we can see we need to be sure we prepare them a little bit friendly because we know right now the end of the season knocked them. And when you know already when you're out of the playoff, it's not easy to consist to pushing on the same direction as a team unit, everything like that. So he said you have to give them credit for Columbus. They play well on even strength, and they was better on many categories, on the battle, on the puck retrieval, on the defensive zone, of course, on offensive zone. The problem we have right now is like we don't create opportunities. So we have to crash more the net. We shoot too much on the periphery around the net, and we have to be sure we go all the way there. So we have 21 shots yesterday again. It's below at 30. We do it for the last couple of games, and we don't have only, like what you said, 4 opportunities to really make a goal yesterday. And you cannot win those kind of goals. And we give too many goals right now for the last couple of games. It's 4-5, 4-5, 4-5. So the chances are there. That's maybe...
it's hard. It's hard for the players because there's a lot of players coming in and out of the lineup, especially on defense lately. And it's hard to create that chemistry on an ongoing basis. You need the time to work together and to communicate on the ice. And they haven't had that time yet.
Andy talked about Lekonen, his change the abilities and offensive, Andy. Like I said this morning, yes, right? But at the end of the day, I'm sure some players get more points because they play with better hockey players.
Yeah, for sure.
With all the respect I have to Kotkaniemi, he got more points this season because he played with better hockey players around him too. So it's just the process about that one there. Look, Niskishin over there, he get 21 goals right now, right?
Yeah.
Calgary have so they get better around where you play with better hockey players. Your abilities get better. I don't want to. I have to give credit for Lekonen, but a long term, I don't see him to get 60, 70 points. It's just right now he take advantage from basing Calgary and Lestegard at that moment about that. Andy said the King and Edmonton are battle for the fallout of the playoff. Would be very interesting what happening about that. Roger Delaney is in the house.
Hey, Roger, how are you? Well, I'm not sure it's Edmonton that's in that battle. I think Edmonton sort of secured themselves a little bit. I still maintain it's a battle between Vegas. I look at Dallas. I'm pretty much convinced because they got the games in hand. I think they're playing 6 out of their last 9 games at home. They should be clear, unless they totally choke down the road. But you look at LA, they have 6 games left, and I think 5 are very winnable.
So if they just have nothing. Last night was the last game. They have 6 games to go. The rest, they all play below 500.
Yeah, the only hard team they have left is Vancouver.
The key, they have to win them. At that moment, Vancouver be eliminated in my eyes, so that's not a problem.
That's right.
So Vancouver have this. My problem is Dallas. Dallas played the best game of the season, the last game 1-0.
Yes,
right?
The 1-0 game, yeah.
Watch them tonight.
To see what happens.
Watch them. I would not be surprised they lose 5-3 tonight, 5-2.
Well, I hope not, because first of all, I'll get my prediction.
That's the consistency they have this season. That's what they've been there all over. They play better at home. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but again, they play a solid team tonight, and Minnesota, I believe, and we're going to see that. You're going to see another team tonight, but we'll be interesting. Have you talked yet about the hit on Montembeault last night, and no one came to challenge the players second time? Sad, really.
Yeah, well, that's because of the personnel they have in the lineup right now.
I don't know. It was really the players tried to hit the Montembeault. Montembeault was in the crease.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So it's not the same thing what Cashin did it behind the net, right? So it's happened a lot, Roger. No, I don't said. I don't see for me they have to respond all the way like that. I can understand your point of view, but I cannot recall it. So, the guy just want to rip Montembeault at that moment. But I don't know. I don't see that way at that moment on that hit over there. I could be wrong, but
yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. But I agree. There should always be somebody that at least puts a glove in their face or gives them a bit of a push. Just to say, don't do that again.
Yep.
Now,
We have Peters.
Edmonton.
Peter W is in the house, Mr. ENORTAP.
Welcome, Peter. Edmonton, they have Vancouver, San Jose, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Colorado, Dallas, Vegas, Nashville.
I said that last night. I'm furious because the app don't protect the goalie at any point.
Yeah.
But again, I did not see I did not see anybody I did not see he was a hit where the players tried. Like Gallagher, he hit the goaltender. The attention was not to try, he played the puck, right? But you can see the defenseman for Columbus jump a pick, go hit Gallagher. You don't have to fight. You have to show up. That's pretty much what I'm looking. Yeah. What they're talking about, right? You don't have to drop the glove. You just have to show up.
I think that's what Andrew's trying to say. So he's saying there should be at least a push or something, just to show that you don't do that to your goalie, right?
Yeah. Well, let's go right here because we have a long night, a 12 game to talk about tonight. We're going to talk very soon about this. Mr. ENORTAP, we're going to ask you people who are they. We have a special one tonight, and I want to ask you, who is this player, sir?
Oh my God!
Jake McGinn is in the house tonight. Welcome aboard, Mr. Jake.
Welcome, Jake.
You know, so Gallagher will be gone. Now, I'm going to say they will have to kill anyone, but show some emotion. And we had the winner already, Yamo. He got it. And Marius Zarkowski. Congratulations about that one over there. So congratulations about that, Mr. Yamo. You don't have to save anybody, Mr. Yamo, ENORTAP tonight. So that's good news for you. And 12 game on the program tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to give us your prediction with also your player of the game, fantasy players, and the score of the 12 game. Will be interesting how we're going to go tonight and go from there.
Yeah, Coach, I just wanted to mention also, I mean, one team that we're sort of overlooking, and they have to be very, very careful. We're talking in terms of the last team to make it into the West. And we're overlooking the fact that Nashville does not have an easy slate of games going the rest of the way. We're ignoring them, thinking that they're in, and they are playing well, so they should get there. But, you know, they have Edmonton tonight. They have St. Louis. They have Calgary, Tampa Bay, Minnesota, Calgary again. And then they have Chicago, Colorado, and then they end off the season with Arizona. So they don't have an easy schedule coming up, and they have to be careful that they don't fall behind the other teams that are involved there, because it could lead. They could be the odd team looking in, actually. Okay, let's start with our first game tonight, St. Louis and Buffalo. The Blues will try to extend their point streak to 10 games tonight. They're currently 8-0-1 in their last 9 games. They've been playing some great hockey and entered Wednesday's game. They were tied at that point in second place in the Central Division and home ice advantage after the first for the first round of the playoffs. Against the Leafs, Tuesday, Buffalo got goals from 5 different players in snapping a 3-game losing streak of their own with an impressive 5-2 win over the Maple Leafs. The Blues defeated the Sabres 5-3 in their previous meeting, and they welcomed back Torrey Krug, who had been out of the lineup for close to 10, I think it was 10 games in total that he missed, and he'll be definitely an added asset for them as they get into the playoffs here. The Sabres also upgraded their own defense on Tuesday with the addition of Owen Power. Played a great game. Sabre coach Dan Granato gave him almost 20 minutes of playing time against a very good Toronto team, and he ended up the night with a +2 as well. So congratulations to him, and hopefully he keeps playing at this level. So I'm going to go tonight with St. Louis, but it'll be a close game, I think, 4-3.
I don't know why I gave you 3-2.
4-3, yeah. Okay. Next game we have Ottawa and Boston. Well, the Bruins will look to move out of a rare slump tonight when they host the Senators in the second game of a 3-game homestand for them. Despite being 8-4 in their last 12 games, Boston has suffered back-to-back regulation losses for the first time in more than 2 months, with a loss to the Blues recently. The Bruins had a 2-1 lead after 1 minute, 1 period, but then the Blues won their 6th consecutive game by scoring 3 unanswered goals during a 15-minute period between the end of the second and early part of the third period. The Bruins, they squandered a 2-1 lead again against the Washington Capitals on Sunday and ended up losing that one 4-2. So it was a tough Tuesday for Boston in more ways than one. Not only was their 38-goal scorer David Pastrnak and I think also Lindholm and Gritslick out for the out of the lineup, but they also had lost Brandon Carlo during the first period, and he didn't return. And I haven't read much on him in terms of his status for tonight. Last time I checked, I think he was day to day. So that'll be something to keep an eye out on. Ottawa's 5-4-1 in their last 10 games. They snapped a 3-game losing streak on Tuesday by defeating Detroit 4-1. That completed a 3-game season sweep of the Red Wings. So for them, that was quite a nice feat. Stützle scored twice and assisted on Batherson's go-ahead goal in the second period. Also, Austin Watson also had a goal and assist, and Forsberg put in another solid victory and performance with 24 saves there. I think the Bruins. I think the Bruins win this one, especially at home. I'm going to take them 4-2.
Uh, 4-2, 3-2. We have to have a stop, Mr. ENORTAP, right now here.
Sure.
A new member of the Hockey Show, Mr. Peter Rivers. Oh yeah, 3-man. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Thank you so much. Be a part of the family, the Hockey Nation Live Show. We really appreciate that.
Welcome to the best.
Here we go. A new member, Mr. ENORTAP.
Yeah, we always have to stop for those. It's important.
Yep.
Number 3, we have Anaheim and Tampa Bay. The Lightning are scheduled to open a 5-game homestand, their longest of the season, starting tonight against Anaheim. They missed the chance to clinch a Stanley Cup playoff berth when they lost 1-0 to Dallas on Tuesday, and that represented their 5th loss in the last 6 games. So there's a bit of concern there in Tampa Bay. Many say it's the fatigue of having played so many games over the last couple of years, including this year. Others are saying that they're just sort of pacing themselves and just making sure that they put themselves in a decent position. They don't really care who they're playing. They feel they can beat anybody. But tonight they'll take another shot at the Ducks, who themselves have really been spiraling out of control. They've lost 15 out of the past 17 games. Tampa is currently in 3rd in the Atlantic, 4 points behind the Leafs, who visit the Lightning next week. So we'll see if that game means a lot in terms of the overall positioning. Defense lately, at one point that seemed to be the area of concern, but as they got McDonough back, defense really hasn't been the issue of late for Tampa. It's only allowed 1 goal in the past 6 periods and 2 goals in regulation over the last 3 games. So that hasn't been bad at all. It's really they haven't been getting the scoring that they need. The Lightning are 1-9-1 in their past 11 games against playoff-bound teams, and this could be a problem as they prepare for the playoffs. For the Ducks, Zegras and Terry continue to be the highlights for the Ducks this year. Terry scored his 33rd goal of the season against Florida on Tuesday, albeit in that 3-2 overtime loss. And Zegras recorded his 35th assist of the season on that play. And Zegras right now is riding a 4-game point streak as well. Gibson, he put in a fantastic game the other night against Florida. He made 52 saves in that game, yet couldn't secure the victory. But obviously it's not on him. It was probably one of his best games of the year. The problem is, ever since the All-Star game, Gibson's numbers have really gone down the tubes. He's gone 2-14-3 with a .445 goals against average and a .875 save percentage in those 19 games since the All-Star break. Vasilevsky is winless in his last 4 starts for the first time since getting swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first round of the 2019 playoffs. So we'll see if he can break that streak tonight. I think he will. And I take the Tampa Bay Lightning to win this game 4-2.
4-2, 5-2?
4-2. 4-2.
First of all, we want to welcome a new person. He's going to give us all his score right now, Mr. Brendan Whiteman. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Brendan.
Also, we have James just joined us for the night tonight. Mr. James, welcome aboard. And insider with all the update, Mr. RJ Calabro.
Welcome, RJ. Welcome, James.
Thank you, Roger. I got your information. Don't forget, guys, you have 4 more games after that graphic, by the way, so don't go nowhere.
So the Carolina Hurricane have already played 1 huge game this week to get themselves into a good situation. But this game tonight against Detroit might qualify as a trap game, with Saturday night's game looming very large with them against the Colorado Avalanche. So they have to be careful. I've noticed over the last 3 games or so, they've really put a lot of effort into their games, very complete victories by Carolina. It would be a pity to see them lose a game like this because they were looking too far ahead to Colorado. Carolina right now is 2nd overall in the East after stretching its lead to, well, at the time they stretched it to 4 points on top of the Metro, but with the Rangers winning last night with that shutout, it's back to 2 points, even though they have a game in hand. And they do have to play each other one more time. So it's not secure yet for Carolina that they're out of, harm's way and are going to win the division. And that's what makes this game that much more important. This is their game in hand that they have. The Red Wings are 2-3-1 in the month of April, and it's not going to get any easier for them. 4 of their next 5 games are on the road, and this game begins a 10-day stretch where we see them playing 6 times in those 10 days. So and they're all against playoff bound teams, so that makes it even more difficult. Even though the Red Wings 4-1 home loss to the Ottawa Senators on Tuesday night marked Detroit's lowest scoring output in the last 8 games. It's the defense that needs to really tighten up for that squad. This is going to be a tough game, I think, for Detroit to try to win. I'm going to take Carolina to win this by a score of 5-2.
That's what happened. I modified the score. I have 5-2 and then 4-2 here. Okay.
Okay.
It's all good.
No problem. Everything is solvable.
We got it.
All right. So it brings us to a tough game here. Tough, I say, because Washington has really been riding high lately. They've been playing some of their best hockey. I think from the looks of it, they're trying to get themselves out of that wild card situation and avoid either Carolina or Florida in the first round. To do that, they'd have to catch Pittsburgh, who's just slightly ahead of them. And Pittsburgh's been on a bit of a slider lately. So there's that added motivation for Washington. Ovechkin and the Capitals, they visit Matthews and the Leafs tonight in a matchup between two of the top snipers in the NHL. Ovechkin scored his 46th goal of the season on Tuesday in that Washington 9-2 victory over the Flyers. He needs just 4 more to match Wayne Gretzky and Mike Bossy by reaching the 50-goal mark for the 9th time in his career, which would be the most in the NHL history. Matthews failed to add to his league-leading 58 goals on Tuesday night with that 5-2 loss to the Sabres. But, guys like Marner with 90 points, Matthews with 99 were kept off the score sheet. And I think that was the key to that game. It ended Marner's 13-game point streak. Matthews had scored 21 goals and 10 assists in his previous 16 games played, and has really catapulted himself in the conversation for that Hart Trophy at the end of the year. Toronto is expected to, to start resting some players over its remaining 9 games. I think KEEFE has made that public knowledge now, that he wants to use that opportunity to make sure all his players are healthy and have the legs going into the playoffs. Of course, the biggest one they have to worry about is Campbell. He has to be at the top of his game for them to have any sort of success in the playoffs. The Capitals are 8th in the East, and they have yet to clinch officially a playoff berth. Actually, no. I think they've clinched it. My mistake. I apologize for that. They open a 5-game road trip tonight on a 4-game winning streak, and the last time they played was in late February, and the Leafs defeated them 5-3. And I think I'm going to go with the Leafs to win this one, 4-3, but it might go to overtime.
Oh yeah, we listen Kelly right now, so that's good.
Kelly,
welcome, Mr. Blackhawks fan 97.
Well, the Penguins will get another crack at clinching a playoff spot, and the visiting Islanders will get another shot at trying to stop them tonight. In the front half of a home series Tuesday, the Islanders defeated Pittsburgh 5-4 in a shootout. Now the host Penguins get another shot to clinch their 16th straight postseason spot against the Islanders. The Penguins have lost 8 of their past 11 games, leaving the door open, as I mentioned, for the Capitals to overtake them for 3rd place in the Metro. A few weeks ago, it seemed like Pittsburgh had a chance to move up instead of back. It looked like they were going to catch 2nd place there in the Metro, but those 3 victories by the Rangers ensured that that wasn't going to happen anytime soon. Pittsburgh, which had a day off on Wednesday, and so had no real updates on player status. They could be shorthanded for this rematch. Malkin still remains out. Let's not forget about that. He's serving, I think it's his 2nd game of the 4-game suspension. Rust and Rodriguez, they left Tuesday's game because they could not shake some non-COVID-19
Look like they
symptoms.
are back.
They are back? Okay.
That's what Iamo said. You have to verify again, but I think that's what he said.
That's good. Thank you, Yermo. On the flip side, Brock Mcginn returned Tuesday with a hand injury that had kept him out of the lineup for well over a month. The Islanders, well, they don't have a realistic shot at making the playoffs, thanks to a very poor first half of the year, which kind of removed a lot of pressure for them. And now we're starting to see the results of not playing with that pressure. They've gone 14-6-1 over the last 21 games. And over the past 8 games, they're 6-2. But I think Pittsburgh will prevail tonight. I'm going to take them to win 3-2.
Here we go. Yes, Jim, we do this for every day, Monday to Friday.
Okay. Brings us to a critical game here for both teams. The Oilers will try to put a rough loss behind them when they visit the Predators tonight in Nashville. They fell 5-1 against Minnesota on Tuesday. Their 2nd straight setback after, they went on that impressive 6-game winning streak. Hyman acknowledged that the team as a whole needed to play better. And, he acknowledged himself in that conversation. So we'll see if that converts to better play for Edmonton tonight. While the Oilers look to get back to winning, the Predators are looking for consistency, or at least consistent results. Nashville entered Wednesday's play holding the top wild card slot in the Western Conference. They opened a 5-game homestand on Tuesday and snapped a 2-game losing streak with that 1-0 overtime win against the Sharks. Again, credit to their goalie Saros for shutting out the visitors there in that game, but he played one of his best games of the year and really converted those necessary points for the Predators. He's currently, Saros, that is playing in his 7th season in Nashville, and he has a .922 save percentage as the season draws to a close, which almost matches his career average. For me, I think this guy's definitely put himself in the conversation for the Vezina, with a couple of other goalies in the league that are doing extremely well this year. The Predators are a healthy bunch at the moment, with only really one player that's out. That's Michael McCarron, just due to an upper body injury. I think he suffered that in a fight that he was with a couple days ago. Tough game here. I struggled with this one. Could very well go to overtime, but I think Edmonton will prevail for me. I took them to win 4-3.
Not a problem, Peter. You just send it to me. All right, not a problem, Richard. You can send it to me also. That's all good. And we're looking good so far. Thank you so much.
Okay, next, 2 teams in good form. A division rivalry and playoff positioning on the line adds up to a major showdown tonight when the Wild visit the Stars. Minnesota's in 2nd place in the Central via tiebreaker over the St. Louis Blues, while the Stars are in 5th in the Central Division. However, Dallas is in a position of the second Western Conference wildcard slot with a 3-point edge over Vegas right now, with some games in hand. That's why I think Dallas is in a very good position for themselves. They just have to do their job over the last 9 games that they have left, 9 or 10, I think. The pressure's mounting at the end of the regular season as it approaches, and the Stars got a taste of the kind of intensity that they're going to get the rest of the way from that 1-0 Tampa Bay game that they played. The Stars are 23-10-2 in home games this season and play 6 of the remaining 9 games at home. So that's yet another factor that comes in the favor of Dallas as they get close to the end. A major challenge awaits Dallas, though, tonight in Minnesota, who has been one of the NHL's hottest teams. The Wild are 11-1-2 in their last 14 games and are coming off of an impressive victory of their own when they defeated the Oilers the other night 5-1. I'm not going to get into too much in terms of the players that have been contributing. I think we all know when we speak of guys like Kaprizov and Zuccarello and now Fleury that's gone onto the team. I think Greenway and Delorier are still questionable due to injury. I don't know if Yarmo has any further information on that. For the Stars, Nemesnikov is questionable, as well as Radulov and Kiravanta. So Dallas has won 2 of the 3 previous meetings with the Wild. All 3 games were very high-scoring affairs, and the Stars hold a 15-14 edge over Minnesota in goals. So I think Minnesota wins this one, but it won't be in regulation. It'll be in overtime or possibly a shootout, 4-3.
Awesome. No, you give me Minnesota 4. And look like I don't have no score for you for the Dallas.
Okay. And next we have San Jose and Chicago. Bring your pillows. This should be a really dormant game, I think. The Sharks, they've lost 7 in a row. They began a 5-game road trip with a 4-2 setback in Vancouver on Saturday before losing that 1-0 game to Nashville on Tuesday, matching their longest the wrong way streak of the season. They've scored just 13 goals in their past 7 games. A lot of things are going wrong for them at this point. The Hawks, well, they can echo a similar refrain during their 8-game skid, which is one shy of Chicago's season-opening 9-game skid that they had at the beginning of the year. The Blackhawks have mustered just 10 goals over the last 6 games. So that's a bit of a sad state of affairs, because the one thing we had noticed is that at least they had some scorers on the team prior to that those trades that they made at trade deadline time. Taylor Radish collected a goal and assist to record his second 2-point performance since he's gone over from Tampa Bay. The Hawks are 1 for 11 on the power play over the last 3 games, heading into their tilt against the Sharks. San Jose, in turn, entered Wednesday's action with the NHL's second-ranked penalty kill at 86%, and they've killed 25 of their last 26 power plays. The Sharks held the Blackhawks without a shot under 2 power plays during a 2-0 victory in Chicago back in November. Reimer had made 29 saves in that shutout win. And Timo Meier, who's been having a great year, actually scored 2 of his career high 31 in that contest. Again, 2 teams that are going to turn it over a lot tonight. I expect a high-scoring game. I gave them a little bit of benefit of doubt, but I can see it being higher than what I predicted. I took San Jose on the road to win this by a score of 4-3.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Ooh. I need to find them now. Here you go. I got it. Thank you.
Okay. And now we have New Jersey and Colorado. Colorado's on a back-to-back after that impressive win over LA last night by earning a 7th consecutive win on Wednesday. The Avalanche officially broke the franchise regular season record for wins in a season and showed again that they'll be among the favorites to hoist that Stanley Cup over the next month or so. The Avalanche look to continue adding to their victory total tonight against New Jersey. This will be the first time that they meet in more than 2 years. The Avalanche will be completing a back-to-back set after the game last night. The Devils last played on Tuesday when they beat the Coyotes 6-2 to improve to 2-0 at the start of a 5-game Western Conference road trip. The Devils will be looking for another moment to build upon by completing a season sweep of the Avalanche, whom they upset 5-3 back on March the 8th. A win tonight would also tie the season-long winning streak for the Devils, who beat Dallas 3-1 on Saturday before cruising past the Coyotes. The Avalanche last defeated the Devils on December the 13th, 2019, and that was by a score of 3-1. So tough here. I gotta believe that Colorado will pull this through, even though some of the data that I just gave you doesn't support it. But I'm gonna take Colorado to win 5-3.
5-3.
And I hope we don't regret it.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate a lot. Very kind of you. Got it.
Okay, Vegas and Calgary. Big game here. Despite Vegas earning a point from that frantic third period comeback in their last outing, they still ended up dropping back in the chase for a playoff spot. It's a result the Golden Knights can ill afford to replicate as they chase LA. And I would even say Nashville for that third playoff spot in the Pacific, and then the Stars for the second wild card spot. In either race, they can't keep dropping points like they did on Tuesday. They almost have to go on a perfect run the rest of the way here to get themselves in the playoff position. The Knights' playoff quest continues tonight when they continue their Western Canada road swing against the Flames. Vegas has 8 regular season games remaining and entered Wednesday's game sitting 3 points behind the Kings, but with Vegas holding a game in hand. They also trail the Stars by 3 points, but Dallas holds a game in hand on Vegas, as do the Predators, who are 1 point ahead of the Stars. The Flames, they can clinch a playoff spot with a win over Vegas by extending their winning streak to 5 games. They played a very good game against Seattle, even though they trailed 3-1 headed into the third period. And then we saw Johnny Gaudreau go to work there. He reached the 100-point mark for the first time in his career, becoming the first for Calgary since the last person who did it, which was Theo Fleury in 1992-93. The Flames could also receive a boost with a pair of defensemen poised to return to action. Both Oliver Killington and Eric Branson are scheduled to return tonight. So I'm going to go with the more desperate team here, which is Vegas, but it's going to be a hard earned victory, I think, possibly in a shootout, 4-3.
I go with Calgary.
Okay, and our last game of the night, Arizona and Vancouver, 6 points out of both paths to the playoffs. With just 8 games remaining, the Canucks are a long shot to make the playoffs, but that doesn't really bother head coach Bruce Boudreau very much, whose team has won 4 consecutive games headed into tonight's game against Arizona. Not many think that Vancouver can catch any of the teams ahead of them, but don't tell the Canucks that. They just keep playing, and they've been playing very well ever since Boudreau came in. Actually, spectacular play since he's come back and turned his team around. Next up for them is, like I said, Arizona, who has the fewest points of any team in the NHL, and they've lost 4 in a row. You can see that they really miss some of their players that are on the injury reserve right now. They are just 2-10-1 over their past 13 games, and they've allowed 5 or more goals in 6 of their last 8 games. So I'm going to take Vancouver here. And since 5 was the lucky number, I'm going to go with a 5-2 score.
Awesome.
And we close down the gap a little bit to 7 points here. So my team tonight, I'm going to take Carolina. And my defensemen, I'll go with Makar and Hedman. And my forwards will be Miller, McDavid, and Kaprizov.
McKinnon, Kucherov, Ao, Hughes, Ozzy, and Tampa Bay, Mr. ENORTAP.
Gotcha.
What you expect tonight?
Total goals, 81.
I'll go with 86.
Okay. And what do we expect tonight, Coach? We expect a whole bunch of mismatch of games. I think there's some excellent games on slate tonight. And implications with the standings. Like I think tomorrow morning we may get a little bit of a clear indication of where teams are headed and who's in the driver's seat as of tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, it's going to be a tough night for some teams.
Awesome. We want to wish everybody, guys, to have a good prediction tonight. Good job coaching us that. Tomorrow you both going to the jail. That's great to see that.
Who said that?
John Gregar got it. Kelly, I got it. John Gregar, I got it. Thank you so much, everybody. Sport fans, welcome. Thank you, Peter. Brendan, for your first time with us. We appreciate a lot. And we thank you so much for everybody. Before we leave,
you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Thank you so much, everybody, to join another warm-up show with Hockey Coach Guru, Coach French, and also ENORTAP. We want to remind you, of course, be well, be healthy. Find a way not only dominate your day, find a way to dominate one, Mr. ENORTAP.
You're 2022.
Here we go. We see you in 2 minutes.
Okay. Good night.
Have a good night.
Surprise.